Lindsay Clancy's coworker, sister, and even mother testified in court today, and trigger warning, this is where things got very emotional. When Lindsay's mother took the stand, the first thing she said was that she loved her grandchildren with all her heart, that being a grandmother was the most beautiful thing, and that Lindsay was a great mother, and that she would do anything for her kids. They then showed text messages that Lindsay sent her mom months before the crime, where she said, "Mom, will you please come up and stay with me for a bit? I'm really sick. Something is wrong. I have horrible insomnia all night, and I just don't know how I'm gonna get through the day. I started taking medicine my doctor prescribed for anxiety, and I think it's made things worse. I'm really scared and I don't want to be alone. Yes, I'll come today," she replied. "I'll be there late morning, okay?" She then said she remembers one night in December when Lindsay was having dark thoughts and said, quote, "I remember her being very nervous," and then said, "I just have to tell you guys something." She then looks over to the jury and said she told us she had thoughts of harming the children. She said she would stay with Lindsay for stretches of time in the months leading up to the crime, and that she was so afraid to be left alone that she couldn't even sleep without her mom. She also refused to drive alone, so her mom had to take her to school to pick up the kids. And because of the medication, she couldn't remember anything and was slowly losing her mind. She said she always talked about wanting to be a great mother to the kids and a great wife to Patrick, and they didn't feel the need to surveil her 24/7. And she remembers asking Patrick, "Do you think Lindsay can't be left alone with the kids?" And Patrick said no. So the first person to go up was a woman named Margaret who worked with Lindsay at the hospital, and she said that Lindsay was a really good nurse. She said that she loved being a nurse. She was kind, compassionate, really cared about taking care of her patients, and was even often emotional at the birth of complete strangers. She also remembers a conversation she had with Lindsay about Andrea Yates, a woman who took the lives of 5 of her children, and she remembers the response that Lindsay had to hearing this was, "How could a mother hurt her children?" Her sister Allison then took the stand and talked about her declining mental health in the months leading up to the crime. She said she started to notice around Thanksgiving that Lindsay did not look good. She had very little energy, she did not look like herself, and she just knew that she was struggling. She said it got really bad in December when Lindsay told her that she had suicidal ideation every single day for an entire month. The last person to be brought up was a doctor who reviewed Lindsay's injuries the night of the crime. He said Lindsay was non-responsive and severely hypothermic to the point where they had to stabilize her, rewarm her, and even help her with her blood pressure. He also said she had lacerations to her wrists, her neck, and superficial wounds, and said they do appear to be consistent with self-injuries. He said there was weaker and stronger thickness of wounds, meaning there was some hesitation before going through with it. He then went into detail about the injuries to her cervical spine and about how serious that is. Reddington then said, "So you know she went out the window," and he